Welcome everybody to another episode of Locked In Golden State Warriors podcast. I'm Brandon Freno. Joined by me is my co-host Jordan Medeiros, and we got our special guest on another episode, our guy Cory, aka Sport Fanatic, and our boy Bashar, aka
What's up?
49er Minded. How we doing tonight, fellas?
Pretty damn good.
Pretty good after the night.
Good.
Blood pressure is finally dropping.
Yeah, that's good. I think we had 2 hours to, let all that
Decompress.
blood pressure, decompress, all that shit. So let's start off with the formalities real quick. If you haven't yet already, go over to our YouTube channel. Our Twitter chat's not working. So Locked In GSW podcast. Just type that in. We don't have an official website yet, or we're working on it, but Locked In GSW podcast in the search bar. Hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't yet already. Go over to our Twitter page. At GSW_podcast. Instagram, Locked In GSW podcast, spelled all the way out. We haven't hit that already. And also our Twitch page, twitch.tv/Locked In GSW podcast. All right. And that'll do it for formalities.
Yeet.
And let's get into it, fellas. Warriors beat the Dallas Mavericks 126-117. Second half looked phenomenal compared to the first half. Let's compare both halves and see what went different. Let's go ahead and start with you, Cory. What did you see from the Warriors compared from the first half to the second half, and what stood out to you the most?
Well, the big difference between the first half and second half was simply turnovers. I mean, I think you looked somewhere around 10 turnovers, give or take, in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
I think it might have been a little bit more than that. I have to go back and look at this one more time. They had 13 turnovers for the game. I think 10 of those were in the first half, so they did make a few ill-advised plays in the second, but you look at the first half of game one, you look at the second half of game one. The difference is turnovers, and the other big difference, not in the Warriors standpoint, but for the Mavericks, if you allow the Warriors to shoot 56%, you're going to lose. Doesn't matter how well Luka does, or Brunson, or Bullock, or even Dinwiddie, or any of the other role players there, you allow 56% in each of the first two games, you will lose to the Warriors. They don't have the horses to be able to contain the Warriors to shoot sub 50%. That's why this series is going to be done in 4 or 5.
All right. Bashar, have anything to add on that?
So my blood pressure was okay during the game. For whatever reason, for whatever strange reason, these weird and crazy games that we've been playing, I've been pretty calm physically. So, and in most cases, we come out on top. So, hey, I'm on a good roll. I'm on a good streak. And this is one of those games where we were playing like garbage at one point. You know, the Dallas was making every single shot. I mean, when Brunson's nailing all kinds of crazy three-pointers, and I'm not just talking about Luka, but then you got Bullock and all these other dudes, that Bertrand guy, and all these other guys just nailing all kinds of crazy shots in the first half. Part of me was telling me, well, this isn't how these guys normally don't play this well. I mean, I know Luka is going to play well against the whole league, but these other dudes, who are they? You know what I mean? Is this going to last for 4 quarters? That's what I was pretty much thinking, that, you know, hopefully the second half they find a way to regroup. Mm-hmm. And find a way to, you know, just to get these guys to play like their normal selves and get us to play in our A game, and then not be so sloppy with all those stupid, silly fouls in the first half. Now, some of them, there are a couple of bad calls here and there. I get it.
There are a lot of bad calls on both sides of the ball. That's one of the most officiating games I've ever seen in my life. I think there was like 50 fouls called.
Were there? Probably.
How do you expect a game to flow with any type of consistency if the referees are going to blow a whistle on every possession?
Yeah. I was happy. One more thing, I was happy to see though when we did start to build a lead in the fourth quarter, and you know that we saw how the Mavs were trying to press the Warriors defensively. The Warriors didn't go to their crappy way of giving up so many damn turnovers to the other team or anything like that. They actually handled the ball pretty damn well in that fourth quarter. So shout out to them, and hey, we won. So.
Yep. And another thing on that officiating crap. I mean, let's just put it this way. I mean, even Chuck and all them even said that they did freaking horrible. So if you have freaking the media even saying that too,
Cares
then
about Chuck.
something has to change. All right. So continue on to with the question, Jordan. You have anything else to add on that?
So I didn't get to watch the first half, but I just want to say, the reason why we're probably going to win the series, well, we are going to win the series, I should say, is our rebounding. Our rebounding is way better than theirs, and it gives us, second chance shots. So
Mhm.
MVP Looney, of course, he had a great game today.
Yeah, he
He
did.
scored what? How many? 20 something points?
He's a beast.
Yes, very much. So, yeah.
He's starting to. Hey, man, he's proving me wrong, man. I'll tell you that much. I trashed Looney so damn much over the years.
Yeah, I know, right? But I agree with Corey. It's either going to be a sweep or 5 games. It probably will be 5 games. I'm sure they'll get one in Dallas. But yeah.
All right, and moving on. Let's talk about Draymond Green. He was talking too much with the refs. I feel he got a little too overheated.
Every game, he's like that. Every game.
Yeah, but he wasn't like that game 1. I saw a lot more in game 2 for sure. And he ended up not finishing the game. He fouled out with 6 points. 6 points, six defensive rebounds, and 6 rebounds altogether. So, I mean, Draymond is a key to our team and is the energy to have them, win games and basically go down the stretch and scoring and hyping the team up and everything like that.
Big old 3 shot.
We can't have Draymond keep doing this shit for the rest of the series. Like he needs
For
to
the most part, yeah.
calm down with his mouth.
I just hate it when he sits there and complains to the refs. He's the worst in the league at it, to be honest with you. I don't know who's worse than him.
Yeah.
It's really annoying, extremely
That's
annoying.
why he gets easy texts.
Yeah, it's so dumb. And he just, after he got that one tech, he just started like complaining the whole rest of the game. And every now and then he'd have a reason to complain. I get it, but still, man, don't be so.
I think
animated.
Luka's going to take over for that when Draymond
Oh,
retires.
you think so? I hope somebody better take over right now.
Like you wouldn't believe. Kobe used to complain all the time. You have got, DeMarcus Cousins ended up building up that reputation.
Cousins was really bad on the Kings.
Yeah.
But who would have guessed that Draymond Green would have fouled out before he got his second technical tonight?
Guess that was a good thing, right?
Yeah, it was.
He hit a clutch 3 there before he fouled out.
Look, and mind you, too, is he hit that 3, and he said in the pregame, because Chuck was like, "Why are you warming up for? You never shoot." Da 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 da. He's like, "You never know. Like I always make that 1-3."
Yeah.
And sure enough, he did. So that was kind of like a laugh in the face to Chuck.
Hey, hats off to Wiggins. I know that's your guy, Brandon. I kind of trashed him a little bit at points of times during the season, a little bit during the early part of the playoffs. I just didn't like it, or I saw points of times during the season where nobody would be within 10 feet of him, and he's breaking a wide open 3. But this game and this series, man, he's stepping up. In last series too, man. So hats off to Wiggins, man.
Playoff Wiggs, bro.
I think he wants that ring, man. He wants that ring. He's our X factor, pretty much.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
So what do you think of the Moody minutes in the fourth quarter?
Good.
I liked it.
9 minutes, 1 of 1. Got his 2 points on a nice layup. Had an assist. Played lockdown defense. He develops a consistent jumper from the outside. You end up, I think my buddy was mentioning earlier, they have 1 first-round draft pick this year, 2 second-round draft picks this year. If one of, assuming they keep all 3, which they may or may not, if one of those 3 hit, talking about maybe a big man or maybe another shooter, you have hopefully Wiseman coming back next year. You have Kuminga with a year under his belt. You have Moody another year under his belt. Poole's going to sign a super max here in the offseason. Yes, they have the old core here who are still playing at a high level, but I'll tell you, they have a lot of youth and a lot of talent on this team going forward.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree.
Would you put him in? Would you put him in over Damian Lee?
Who are we talking about? Moody?
Yeah.
Yes, I do, because I think he's a better defender. He has a hell of a lot more length. You got to understand, Moody stands somewhere around 6'6", 6'7". His wingspan's like 7'1".
Yeah, he has great
He's got
wingspan.
crazy long arms. His defense is going to be at an elite level at some point here, and he can shoot a little bit. He just has to develop that consistent outside shot. And I think this guy is going to be really good. You just haven't seen much of him, but I think he's a better overall. He'll be a better overall player in the league.
And Steph Curry, a lot of people were saying that he hasn't had a dominant game in the playoffs or anything like that. I mean, he put up what, like 32 points today?
He put 32 points tonight.
6 for 10 for 3-point land. Like that's the Hall of Fame Curry we all know.
People just hate on him.
Oh yeah, they always find and it's there's just ridiculousness where he still doesn't get certain calls that should be obvious calls if it's any other big name guy. You know?
But Luka, he gets all the calls. That's where he got most of his points tonight.
Exactly.
That's all
and one more shout out off the bench. Otto Porter Jr. and Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole coming with 23, baby.
Yes. Yep. And Otto, man.
He's a really nice piece to pull.
Automatic.
So Bashar, you were talking about how great how great Wiggins was tonight. Of the 6 players that went in double figures, he went 5 of 14. He went 16, 5 and 5. He played 38 minutes. But if you go down the line, you had Curry, 32 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, going 11 to 21 in 37 minutes.
Plus
you had
15.
Looney, who just played out of his mind for 21 points, 12 rebounds, 2 assists on 10 of 14 shooting.
Plus 9.
Oh, it was unbelievable. Poole, 23 points, 1 rebound, 5 assists with 7 of 10 shooting.
Plus 26.
Porter,
oh my gosh.
Oh man, it was incredible. Porter, 11, 7 and 4 for 4 shooting, and Clay, who couldn't get, he had the first bucket of the game, but he goes 6 of 10, going 15, 4 and 5.
Minus 9.
Yeah. Nice to see Jordan Poole again taking it to the hoop. A lot of our guys. Clay was doing it, and as far as Wiggins goes, he had a bad shooting night, but he was just, I don't know, he got a plus 16, so he was just doing things that I saw him do. Possibly defensively, there were just a lot of what he was doing was good for me when I was watching him play today. So, I mean, so. And Looney, man, again, 22 points. Who would ever expect that? 12 rebounds.
I know. Let's just talk about Kevon Looney, man. I mean, the guy has been nonstop, even last series. He's just been so phenomenal on the board, in the paint. I think this is his highest scoring that he's had. All playoffs, right? So, I mean, this guy's just phenomenal lately, man.
He just stays ready.
Yeah, he even said, even though he's like tired, like how he was in the last series, the last game, game 6, he's like, I'll still play till the end.
Final numbers were 46 fouls in this game.
Jeez.
46.
Yeah, it was a tough game to watch at times. It was, especially if you're a Warriors fan.
46 fouls in this game.
46 personal fouls, not to mention the 4 techs that were also called.
What was the biggest deficit? Was it 19?
19. Yeah, it was 19.
19, okay. Yeah. But it was a 19-point deficit for quite some time, from what I understand, right?
I think they had 19 points a couple times in like the early second quarter.
I think half it was 14 points.
It was 14 points. The Warriors got it down to 2 at the end of 3, and Porter was the one who hits the 3 to take the lead somewhere around 86, 85 from the right corner to take the first lead about 15, 20 seconds into the fourth quarter, and then that was pretty much it. Back and forth a little bit. It was close, but Warriors eventually pulled away.
But like I was saying, for all those fouls, the most fouls that got gifted to was Luka, like usual. 13 of 15. The free throws.
Refs got to be part of the game.
So I'm just going to put that out there real quick. Let's talk about the Mavericks shooting. During the whole game, they went 37-78 in the field goal range, 24-45 in the three-point range. That was 46%. They went 47% in the field goal.
Does anyone remember what? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're good. Brandon. You're good.
Does anyone remember what Dallas was shooting in the first half? Somewhere around 60%, I think.
60%, yeah. They went 46% in 3.
That was crazy. They just, and then every time we'd make a 3-pointer, especially in the second half, freaking Luka comes up and just answers back. You know, our part was getting pretty annoying.
I mean, it's not going to end up happening this way because they're not shooting the threes the same way as they have in years past. But you're looking at trading 3 for 2. Yet Dallas in the first 2 games has shot ungodly amount of attempts more than us, and yet we're still shooting. And I forget, don't have the final numbers of what we shot from the outside.
50%.
50%.
Yeah.
When it was all said and done.
And
you can't allow the Warriors to shoot 50% or higher from the field and expect to beat them. It's not going to happen. And whoever they end up facing here in the finals, assuming that we win 2 of the next 5, which I think is a fairly safe bet, whether it's Boston or Miami, same problem. Now Boston could be an issue just because of their elite defense, but we'll save that for another day.
Oh yeah, they scare me without a doubt. They do.
Yeah, and the Warriors' field goal range was 56%.
56% in both games. Go back to game 1, same thing, and I think it was the exact same shot attempts, somewhere around 86. If you look at the first game compared to the second game, the shots made were identical.
So does that happen in game 3?
I think Dallas gave us their best punch tonight, coming out of the blocks early. I know you missed the first quarter there, first half there, Jordan. But they're going to see another very high, heavy punch. You have the crazy Mavericks fans, also Cowboy fans out there going at it. Sorry, I had to give Cowboys a little jab there. But they have to have that 19-point lead well into that third quarter to have a shot. Because like we said, they were up by 19 somewhere in the second quarter. The Warriors dropped it down to about 14 at halftime. And then third quarter is the Warriors' quarter. And they ended up getting a plus 12 there, getting it down to 2. And then it was just a matter of pushing them. You know, they're hanging on a cliff, and it was just a matter of being able to get close enough to just push them over as they fall and fall and fall. And tell me how Dallas wins 4 of the next 5. I'd like to know.
The Mavericks,
I just don't
Mavericks
see it.
pulled in Minnesota, unfortunately.
It's kind of funny because now you mentioned the third quarter reminded me because I'm in this Warriors group text with some friends of mine, and one guy, Ward, I think he's like a basketball coach of some sort. I don't know who he coaches, but anyways, long story short, he was basically saying that, oh wow, the Warriors need to make a run right now, and now's the time they need to do it. And like a few minutes past, the Warriors didn't really do anything, and he typed in the group chat, he's like, oh, their window just closed. And then literally like a minute later, boom, Klay Thompson gets some dunk, and it just brings some enthusiasm to the team, and the Warriors start playing better after that. So I was like, hey, man, you know what's funny, though? I know a lot of people out there will say they don't care about dunks. It's just another 2 points. But I don't know. I just think a dunk is just that move. It's just that play that gives your team some type of spark, some type of
home,
boost.
It gets the crowd extra fired up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Especially if at home, even better,
Or if you're on the road, like if this ends up happening in game 3, it just shuts the crowd up. Just going, oh,
exactly.
No. Here we go again.
Yeah, exactly. It can give you a momentum swing if you respond to it properly.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody leave your comments on our YouTube channel because Twitter doesn't work.
Yeah. I also wanted to tap in on what and I don't keep bringing him up, but I'm going to bring him up. Charles Barkley said at the half, he told the crew that Dallas could just shoot like 47% and they'll be fine. Well, look how that turned out.
Well, guess what? He was wearing a Mavericks jersey, so
Yeah.
Oh, he was wearing a Mavericks jersey? No way.
Yeah, he was at the end of the game.
During the broadcast or at the end?
Post
at the end.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Well, hey, good. That's a good omen. Then he can wear that jersey all he wants. It just means we're gonna win. So, yeah. Did you guys see it last week? Not last week, but the last game. I saw the video on Instagram or Twitter somewhere where the Warriors fans were chanting Charles sucks or Barkley you suck or whatever.
Chuck you suck. Chuck you suck.
And then he said oh something about
they did it again tonight too.
Yeah. Did you hear what he said back to the fans?
You suck too.
Yeah. He said something. I'll screw your mom or something
he
like
said
that.
that
If I
one
You
could-
fan.
suck too.
Yeah.
Hey, so I just looked up on Twitter right now. JaVale McGee was spotted at the game tonight cheering for the Warriors.
That's funny. Well, you know what's fun? Not funny, but it was. I don't know where I saw the interview. Somewhere on
Yeah,
YouTube. It was
a
part of
free
some
agent.
podcast. But this was like at some point last year, or maybe if earlier this year. JaVale McGee pretty much said his best NBA experience as an NBA player, playing for any team, was with the Golden State Warriors, and he was just talking about speaking so highly of the organization and how they treat the players. I was thinking, why did this guy ever leave? Why did he go to the Lakers? You know, if he adores the Warriors so much, you know.
I think they had a huge investment in Wiseman. I think they thought Wiseman was going to make a big impact. But
that was way before. That was way before Wiseman left. That was way before McGee left, though. When we got Wiseman.
No, Wiseman. I thought McGee left.
No, McGee
He
left.
wanted to play with LeBron. That's all.
Yeah,
it was.
he left a while back.
Yeah,
I thought he was
with
there
the
in
Lakers.
2019 before Clay and
Durant.
Durant went down. I could be wrong, but I think they were just looking to move on. I'd welcome him back for another year and see what could happen.
He
They're
played
gonna
well
need
for us.
They're going to need a big. They're going to need another big man anyway.
We do need another big one for
And he'll
sure.
be cheap.
Also, too, is the last time Looney scored 20 something points was back when he was a freshman at UCLA.
Jeez.
That doesn't surprise me one bit. And I've never seen Looney play up any points throughout his whole career.
Looney
So.
Olajuwon. Just kidding.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's next. Yeah, he's next to Hakeem Olajuwon. Yeah. What are we talking? Why are we laughing?
Yeah. And
Who needs
then
Wiseman? Hey, trade Wiseman.
Also, I also want to point out too that the Warriors came back from the largest deficit in the postseason, which was 19 points. That's the first time in 25 years since they've done that.
Yeah, you know, I was trying to look that stat up, and whenever I tried to pull up the stat of our greatest comeback in the playoffs, the Raptors kept coming up, and I didn't click on it, so it must have been less than 19 points against Toronto then when we came back on them.
Yeah, I think.
But obviously we lost.
I can't find it now. I freaking can't find it. Oh well.
That's history making right there then.
But yeah, I mean, dude, Warriors ain't no joke in the playoffs.
You
I
know,
mean,
if you got Looney coming off the bench, putting up not Looney, but Poole coming off the bench, putting up crazy points like that, and his plus minus was really good today.
Might have been his best bench game.
Yeah, and I love the way he was attacking their weak defenses. They don't have any strong defenders, so take it to them.
Yeah, I noticed they don't defend very well, so just attack the basket.
I'm gonna beat this like a dead horse, but I'm still trying to see Wiseman get on the floor. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I wanted to get your guys' take on this. I think it was in the second quarter when Damian Lee got tripped over by what's his face, and they both end up getting technical fouls. What did you guys think about that play? Do you think D Lee purposely did that shit, or was he just walking?
I think he was just he was just kind of in it. There was an awkward position for both players, and I didn't see D Lee doing anything bad when he was just trying to move on up the court. The one thing now when was it Reggie Miller who was the announcer, when they were talking about, they're like, oh, this isn't a foul either way. But the one thing that I saw though, that Bertrand's guy or whatever, he like shoved D Lee off of him. He pushed D Lee, and then D Lee hit the ground hella hard. So that was pretty damn aggressive, dude. So I don't know.
Corey, what's your take on it?
I think the referees ended up blowing that whistle because they saw D Lee fall, and then when they realized that there really wasn't much to it, they just copped out and gave them both tees. The whoever I didn't get a look at the crew tonight, but they should not be officiating again because it just 46 fouls is just ridiculous.
None of these refs should be officiating.
At least they let Draymond run his mouth.
That's true.
After the first one, I thought that first one was a little inadvertent.
Yeah, that first one was BS.
Well, there was just a lot of there was one foul where I think it was called on Draymond, and that's when he was going off, right? And you're like, so I was watching it in my car. I was driving home from work, and even I was fucking yelling at the damn TV screen, bro. I mean, like shit. The
People are
officiating
looking
was
at you.
just fucking poor,
Yeah.
man.
That's the downfall to this great Warriors team that possibly might get another ring. It's just this whole Draymond thing that we always have to worry back, and we all have PTSD from that stupid series against the Cavs where we should have won, and they freaking suspend
they should have won.
LeBron, suspend Draymond, and we lose. So.
Yeah, and look at now, people are admitting that if Draymond wasn't suspended, that they would have won that series. I'm like,
Of course they would have.
I was like, dude, we've been
course
saying
they
that for
would've.
years.
Exactly. People are acting like it's something new or something.
Yeah.
The Warriors go 73-9 that year. They don't lose back-to-back games once. And you're telling me that they lose a 3-1 lead?
Yeah. And that was all because
it's like the league has to protect their baby LeBron, and then they have to protect the Chicago Bulls legacy too at the same time. If you think about it,
Mhm.
That would have been 3 in a row. We never would have gotten Durant. Maybe we would have re-signed Harrison Barnes. I don't know, or gone after another a 3 in there somewhere. It was just a cop out by the NBA. I mean, that's all there was to it. LeBron James was more guilty than he's an instigator. He just goes in there looking. He's kind of a lesser version of what Patrick Beverley is known for. Just tries to get under your skin. He ends up deliberately walking over Draymond Green. And gets no discipline for it.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's silly to me.
But the part that killed me in that whole press conference after the game, though, when Draymond's like, "Oh, I gotta talk to the league about this. I gotta talk to the commissioner about this." It's like, what are you, a little tattletale or something? Like, it wasn't even called a foul. Like, Draymond didn't even get a foul in that game. They didn't call him a foul on that play, so for him on the play. But then they suspended him.
They just wanted to give Cleveland an advantage because they knew that they were getting their asses kicked in the series 3-1. We'll suspend Draymond for Game 5, and it was just a technical, and just because he had accumulated so many, he was automatically suspended for Game 5. Mm-hmm. And then even going back to Game 7, they couldn't hit a shot in the last 4.5 minutes. Mm-mm. It's just one of those things. It was as blatant of a fix to me in the NBA as I've seen in a long time.
Vegas must have loved that.
Yeah. So. I wanted to move on to I was listening to 95.7 the game today, and Bonte Hill brought up a good point. Basically, he said, everybody keeps saying, "Oh, the Mavs have come back from a 2-0 deficit, like the past 2 series," and then he was like, "But the Warriors are not the Suns, and they're not." Who's the other team? The Jazz.
Minnesota.
No, it was the Jazz.
It was the Jazz, right?
Yeah. Like, he's like, the Warriors have championship DNA on that team. There's no way in how Dallas could come back from a 2-0 lead and move on.
Not with the matchup that they have in front of them. I mean,
they're mismatched.
I brought this up, I think, after Game 1.
Yeah.
You go back to the We Believe year. I mean, It was Don Nelson. Team had no business beating that team 4 out of 7 times. I was at the game in the regular season where they had snapped, where Dallas came in with a 17-game winning streak, and the Warriors mopped them right off the floor. I mean, just crushed them. I'll say, 17-game winning streak? Okay, let's see how this feels. And every year, pretty much since Nelly was there, the Warriors have just had Dallas's number when healthy. I understand. Well, Dallas wants to bring up that they won 3 or 4 this year. Okay, Warriors weren't anywhere close to being healthy in the regular season. And you want to come in here? We crush you in Game 1. You couldn't shoot. Well, okay, we got to shoot. They shoot right around 50% tonight. You had Luka going off for 40-something points. You had Brunson going off for Brunson went off.
Brunson's never going to have a game like that again.
And they're playing on their heads. And as we said before the show even started, so let Luka have his 40 or 50 points. He can't beat the Warriors by himself. Mm-hmm. He needs the role players to be able to shoot consistently for 48 minutes. They shot well in the first half.
Yep.
And then they went back to Game 1 all over again. And it's the adjustments at halftime. Steve Kerr is one of the best in the business at it. And they're going to lock you down. The Warriors shot much better in the second half. They didn't turn the ball over. Dallas is done, more than likely, on Thursday.
Sometime
I believe
next
it will be.
Curry does that.
Game
Curry
5.
does Dallas.
Curry
Yeah.
does tell. So don't even start, Bashar. Don't even start. I know where you're going with that.
I was gonna say something else, but never mind.
Don't even start.
I don't know
Nah,
what
don't
you're
even
gonna say.
start.
Moving on, gentlemen. Okay.
I like that, gentlemen.
You're lucky on all Apple and Spotify podcasts. I made sure that shit was explicit because we cuss and everything. Okay. But anyways,
I had nothing to do with it. It was all those two. All three of you, actually. I try to keep
What did
this
I
as
do?
PG as possible. Oh, yeah, I heard a little bit of language out of you earlier, but that's all right. That's all right.
It's okay. I mean,
It's that passion, man. It's that passion.
Yeah, it is.
A couple times you gotta cuss a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
It's
So
the
in
Italian in you.
so in game 3, what would you want to see? Do you want to see anything different? Do you want to see different players on the floor?
Want to see some Kuminga? I don't give him 10 minutes. Give Kuminga 10 minutes.
Yeah, we didn't see any Kuminga tonight.
They don't really need Kuminga in this series because they're not dealing with length.
That's true.
They need to come out. They need to come out of the block better. I mean,
Mhm.
they came out of the block in game 1 okay, but they still weren't shooting the ball well. I mean, I think I gave you all the stats here of just the shooting percentages. Wiggins was 5 of 14, but you're looking at Curry 11 for 21, Looney at 10 of 14, Poole 7 of 10, Thompson 6 of 10, Porter 4 for 4. Come out of the block early, try to take Dallas and the fans out of the game early, and force them to hit their shots instead of just kind of lollygagging. Okay, we'll take a shot here. They got up 19 tonight. It wasn't enough. Come out early and give them a good uppercut in that first quarter. Said, yeah, we're here. We're on the road. What are you going to do? We've won. We've had won a road game in each of the last 25 series. We're about to make it 26. What do you want? You're not taking both these games at home.
Yeah.
And if we can't win both games at home, we'll just take you out in game 5 and send you home that way. We'll still have plenty of time because that's Thursday. We'll still have 5 full days of rest going into game 1 of the finals, which will be on June 2nd, which is the following Wednesday.
Yeah. Also, too, is our bench totally outscored their bench, too. So that's another thing to keep an eye out on as well.
Something to look out and keep an eye on through the rest of the playoffs because the Warriors have the deepest bench in the association. Even Boston, even Miami, they can't match. They might be 6 deep, possibly 7 deep. They're not 9 or 10 deep like we are. We saw Moody today for 9 minutes. I mean,
that was nice. That was nice. And I know you said that we don't really need length too much, but I'm just thinking just like at least one more guy so Draymond doesn't foul out because when Draymond
where's Toscano?
Yeah, JTA has been riding the pine big time. I know, right? But just to spread the fouls out, especially if Draymond gets in foul trouble, throw in Kuminga for 5 minutes or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But here's the deal: has anybody heard any new updates on GP2? Because I heard something pretty positive earlier in the week. I don't remember the details.
So today, he's looking good. They said as of today that he will be reevaluated next week.
What about Iggy?
If we could have him like ready, assuming we win the series, have him ready for like the end of this series or at least for the beginning of the finals, from the finals on outwards, if we make the finals. But that would be a really, really nice piece of that.
For sure. If they're going to reevaluate him in a week, that would mean that Game 6 would be on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
We're not planning on going to a Game 6. So let's just assume that Gary Payton II will be out for the rest of this series, but could and be questionable for Game 1 of the finals on June 2nd.
Yeah. Also, too, is I would rather have him sit out this series anyways, even if, let's just say, they do go to Game 6 or whatever. I would rather have him sit out until the finals and have him for the finals, especially if they face Boston.
Yep.
Keep Iggy out too, then.
This one
I don't think Iggy's coming back. Period.
I don't think he is. He has a neck injury. It's probably pretty serious, They haven't said much about it.
Probably retires.
I think
He's
I
been
think
golfing
done.
all year, anyways. Yeah.
I think he's done, to be honest. But another thing going into Game 3 as well, especially on the road, the top priority needs to be turnovers. They need to limit those turnovers, especially in the first half.
Come out, give Dallas a fresh uppercut early, have them come and play from behind and run. I mean, Dallas's transition defense is terrible. They can get rebounds and get outlet passes and just run. Run on Luka. Run right at him. Mm-hmm. He is not going to stop you. He likes that little ole. And all you know, that's one of his favorite moves defensively.
No, Luka's favorite move is this. Every time there's a foul call.
It was so annoying when they kept playing.
That was a charge. My feet were planted. I was right there.
It was so annoying when they kept playing these moments of Luka making big shots or whatever, and he was mic'd up or whatever, and it was just so annoying to hear his voice and just see them hype him up so damn much today and during the game, and they ended up losing anyway. So
in their face,
exactly.
Hit him in the mouth.
Exactly.
Next game though, Sunday at 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock Sunday in Dallas. 6 p.m. 6 p.m. PST our time.
Yes.
PST.
And I believe Game 3
Pacific Standard Time.
Also to Game 3. I don't know. I'm gonna bring it up anyways, but their jersey they're wearing on Sunday is gonna be the blue jerseys. So
those are they those ones that
favorite jerseys that they wear?
The Philadelphia Warriors looking ones?
It's just the regular one. The regular ones.
Oh, the regular ones. Okay. That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, the regular blue ones.
We have so many damn jerseys for this team, dude.
Speaking of jerseys, I saw on Twitter or something that Looney's jersey got sold out or something tonight.
I believe it.
At Chase.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, I believe
that's a miracle in itself.
Yeah, for real. But
I hope this doesn't get to Looney's head, though. I hope he keeps pushing from here on out.
He's gonna keep, dude.
He's been pushing all postseason, man.
He's got great leadership.
He's fine. He's
tremendous grit there, Mr. Bashar. Tremendous grit.
Grit, huh? He's gritty.
Same thing.
You guys think in Game 3 the refs will be more involved?
No, I don't want them to be more involved. They've been involved enough already. So
you know what I mean.
Especially in this game.
46 fouls.
I think they need to. I think they need to lay off blowing every single freaking whistle. You know, they need, like I've been saying this literally the whole time in playoffs. Just let them play. Literally, it's freaking playoffs. We don't need to see a bunch of freaking penalties all the time.
Fouls.
And yeah. Fouls. And
they're watching too much hockey.
Sorry,
get in the penalty booth.
Freaking, it's just frustrating with this.
Oh yeah, it is.
Especially when they make it so damn obvious, you know.
Honestly, I forgot what point in time in the game it was. I think it might have been a Draymond play, or I don't know. I just felt like a fight was about to erupt. Maybe it was on the Damian Lee play. I don't know. One of those plays.
Damian Lee play and
yep. Draymond went over there.
Was ready to go to blows.
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah, it was. Yeah, it kind of reminded me of the Memphis game. Actually, that little moment.
I can't stand that one dude.
Bertrand.
Yeah, I love when Poole shot in and yelled right at Bertrand's face.
Oh, really? Oh, when was that? In the second half?
Yeah, it was like
I got to go back and check the highlights.
I think the fourth quarter, maybe. But
yeah, Poole was really nice, man. What a great addition to our team. Just his maturation and from what he was when we first got him.
Third year.
Him going to the G League. I mean, the NBA didn't even have a G League at one point. I mean, years back. So now we have a little farm system where we can develop our players and send them mid-season and have them to work on their games. And those who work hard enough end up being pretty relevant players on our team. So awesome for Poole. I'm so happy for the guy.
Yeah,
me too,
Poole
man.
party.
He came in clutch tonight too. That's for sure.
The fans at inside the NBA, you heard Jordan Poole came in and talked to the guys, and you just hear everyone just yelling "Pool party, pool party, pool party."
Yep.
It was great.
I loved
the
it.
Splash party.
Dude, we have like the best fan base. Let's just put that out.
Oh
there.
yeah, I wish I could be at Chase. I was about to say Roracle, but I
Hey,
mean the
I
fans
miss
are.
Oracle.
Hey,
Yeah, I do, but I'd love to be at Chase too. I just feel like the energy's alive there now.
look, Jordan, you haven't experienced Chase Center
Yeah, I know that.
until
I don't live there
you're
anymore.
actually there. Okay, I've been there twice now, and that stadium's freaking gorgeous.
I hear that patio where all the fans just come out and converge is awesome too, though, man. Like,
Mhm.
Looks like it.
like before and after the games and stuff like that.
So where they have Drive City, also, they have a couple restaurants over there that they're actually pretty good.
Oh, well, we're talking about food now, huh?
When I visit,
Bashar's favorite thing to talk about.
What? You're Zachary's Pizza Corey?
Food and pizza. Well, I was just going to say pizza in general, but food.
But we're about to end it right now. You guys have any last thoughts before we head out? Corey?
Yeah, like I said, I just think they need to come out balls of, just blazing, come out big, 10-2 run out of the rip and just try to take the fan base out. Keep the turnovers somewhere around 10 or 12. I know the first half got a little out of hand, but they made the proper adjustments in the second, handled the ball much better. And basketball is a game of runs, and the Warriors just need to try to get to the point where they can just try to take Dallas out of the game entirely. Mm-hmm. And as I mentioned after game one, Dallas is a very streaky team. So in the first half, they're hitting shot after shot after shot. That generally doesn't go, and I think Bashar mentioned this, it doesn't generally continue throughout an entire game. So when they got that lead down to 14 at halftime, said, everyone relax. We still have 24 minutes to play. Buckle down on defense. Keep the turnovers to a minimum. Force turnovers, get rebounds, outlet passes out in transition, and just put that 12-0 run, or I think they had a 15-0 run there at one point there, and just take Dallas's soul out and rip it, throw it down, and stomp on it a few times. If it makes you feel better. But no, I better starts. I mean, that's really what I want to see in game 3.
All right, Bashar?
Corey's right. Better starts. Maybe we can see Steve Kerr throw out a different wrinkle in the first half that we didn't see in these past games that might throw them off. Who knows? I'm just crossing my fingers and hoping we do something just a little different just to throw them off. But yeah, overall, I love the way we're playing so far. Obviously, today we had a pretty big scare at one point. But hey, man, with that championship DNA, like you mentioned earlier, Cyrus. Shout out to Cyrus Sauce from Locked In Warriors. Great dude. He's always on with them. He hosts a show with the podcast with Rick Barry and
had Christian Ledlow on a day or two ago.
Yeah,
it was a really good interview. Really good interview.
And I had him on my show once. He's always on with Larry Krueger, and he's all over the place. But he had a really, really nice tweet right after the game that I'm going to pull up in just a second because what he said was really nice. He said, basically, he just said this. That was the heart of not just a world champion, but a damn #@ Warriors dynasty. So not the heart of a champion, but the heart of a dynasty. We get that 4th ring. Nobody. Remember one time I said, like, I don't know if it was before we won number 3. Mm-hmm. And I was just going back and forth with some stupid Lakers fan. I was like, look, man, we're building a dynasty. He's like, you guys don't have no dynasty. We get this freaking 4th one. That's definitely a dynasty, dude.
In the way that we're going to end up getting it.
Exactly.
With the players, they weren't healthy all year. Clay didn't come back until
no KD
and no KD and all that other stuff. And then when Thompson comes back, Draymond's out for 20, 25 games, and then Curry goes out for like the last handful.
Yep.
The Warriors have the depth better than any team on the planet. They have the second best defense in the association. They move the ball better than anyone. The picks, the pops, work it in, work it out. And again, you're not going to be dealing with size. Now, I think it was Legler on the show, I think with Perkins earlier today, he was mentioning something Perkins was mentioning, well, you have a guy at 6'10" in Williams, and he was blasting off a bunch of stuff of size and whatever. It's crazy. Boston will be difficult if we end up having to face them just because their defense, they can play you pretty much one-on-one. But if you get the ball movement, you force them into turnovers. They do not have the bench to match. If we can run and we can dictate the pace, we're going to be right there. Yep. I think that is a 6 or 7 game series, however.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll have home court.
True.
There you go.
Yes, exactly. We have home court for the rest of the playoffs. So let's put that out there. Jordan, last take.
Yeah, so it's very simple. Warriors just need to go to Dallas and give him the big D. There you go.
Whoa. And I'm trying to behave. I'm trying to behave here.
This guy. And the fact that he went, the big D.
Scary.
Oh my God. It's a good thing we broadcasted this after 10 o'clock.
Last thing, Brandon, just get the split in Dallas. Win game 3 or game 4. If we can't, take them both, take it back here to Chase, win it in front of our home fans.
Get those rebounds.
Mm-hmm. And rebounds haven't seemed to be the issue in these last 2 series. So let's do it.
And then one last thing from what D Wright had to say during post game. Give me a second right now.
1 point when the Warriors were down 15, D Wright, you looked at me and said, the Warriors are going to win this game. I didn't believe you, but they came back and won this game.
Yeah, they found a way. The will to win, the defense. They tightened up the defense. Luka Doncic, a great player, superstar. Jalen Brunson, becoming a young star in this league. They got their numbers, but they shut everybody else down. Reggie Bullock couldn't make shots down the stretch. Bartons couldn't make shots down the stretch, but got to give a lot of credit to the Golden State Warriors for coming out that third quarter and putting it on them on the defensive end.
1 point.
That was Darrell Wright?
Yep, that was Darrell Wright.
Cool. You must have had a little text or something. I heard your phone beep or something.
He gets text all the time.
It was a Twitch notification. And then we had freaking Jordan tapping the damn mic. But anyways, other than that, we'll be back here on Sunday. Cory and Bashar, you guys going to be free?
I'll be here.
I should be.
Okay.
We can probably do it right after. I haven't, first couple games I haven't been home, so it's just been a little difficult to get back. I said, give me an hour, get home, get rested, everything.
8:30 on set. No, maybe 9 o'clock.
No, I'll say 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock's probably a good call.
Because the games probably end about 8:30. Yeah.
8:30. We could do like 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock, probably 9. Yeah.
Yep. Whatever.
Right.
Yeah, we'll play by ear.
Make it work.
Let's get her done.
But other than that, stay locked in, Dub Nation, and go Warriors.
Go
Warriors. Let's go.
Beat that trick.
Whoop that trick.
Whoop that trick.